Good morning. Alright, I am here to share with you all a free, completely free phonics program. Phonics reading, handwriting, and complete with lesson plan. So there are 4 different parts to this lesson plan. This program was designed for ages 4 to 7. And you all know I use Hooked on Phonics faithfully. That's just been a staple for 20 years. However, I do like to look at and try new things. And something I have been using for a while now. I have been sharing. A lot of times I get personal messages via Instagram, my own personal text, YouTube private messages, and they're looking for a reading program, something that they can just print out. So this is where I've been directing everybody, and I have been promising that I would get a review of this curriculum up to just share my thoughts. But I haven't found anything else like this that is as complete, comprehensive, and it's basically a print and go. It's not a lot of work involved. It doesn't take a few minutes to print it out. There is paper. That is the downside. If you're not a paper person, yeah, you could do it online as well, but I'm always one to print things out because I don't like to have the kids sitting there reading, and it really is designed to print. So if you don't want to do, let's see, what is popular, the Bob books, and to me, I think this one is a little more, this curriculum is a little more aggressive than Bob books. There's a little more to the storylines. Bob books are great for introducing reading once the kids already get the phonics down. Again, and I've talked about Bob books. Bob books are not designed to teach a child how to read. They are designed to use as a supplement after the child knows how to read. And that's where a lot of people get hung up, because they think they can use Bob books and teach their child, and that's not the case. Anywho, so this program I'm getting ready to share with you, like I said, is completely free. It's online. All you do is print it out. This year it is a new program, because what happened, the maker designed the program, and the words and letter concepts that she introduced were the hardest ones to learn first, and that's a whole nother story. Teaching reading is kind of complicated, but she redesigned the program, introducing the easiest ones. Now the old on the site, the old program is still available. You can still use it. But it's just easier to use the new ones, teaching the children the easier letters first. It's the same as when you teach the child to write letters. You don't necessarily start with A, because A is not necessarily the easiest letter to teach them to write. Okay? So this is what I've used with the kids, and my 4-year-old really enjoys this, along with, what have I shared, these little books, and this thing here from the Measured Mom. I don't know, I shared these in something back. So completely printable. It's just a matter of putting them together, but she really enjoyed these. And there was a lot of, you get the word families, but you also get other words. So that's what we're looking for. Now this program is called Progressive Phonics, and here it is. What I did was broke down the books because they're quite thick into different folders, and that way we could binder is really, it's a lot to put in a binder, so to say. But what it is, you're going through A-E-I-O-U basically. Now, like I said, there is a lesson plan that teaches you how to use the program, and it's fairly easy to use. So what happens is you are supposed to read the story with the child, and the only word the child is supposed to read is the word in red. So you talk to the child. We're going to work over the at family today, and you read and then they read. Now what happens is my kids want to read the whole thing, which is fine with me because they know the words. If you're starting at the beginning, let your child only focus on the word in red. Don't overwhelm them. So you get a whole page, they get one word. They're going to get that word repetitively, and it's going to add another sound. So the program teaches you how to teach them to add the sound to the word, and then of course they get the picture, so they get their hint, which is always awesome. I did this in color. You can also do it in black and white. It just depends. So there's your word cat again. Cat. So immediately you see it went from at to cat. It's just that easy. So that is the only word that they are learning. Like I said, if your child is able to read the rest of the words, that's fine. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is too easy for them, because they still need to be able to comprehend the word or words that they're reading. And obviously this is more than what's offered in Bob books. Alright, so here we go from, in the next story in the at family, from cat to at to sat. And I like how they give that all on the same page so they can visually see the changes. A lot of times that's all it takes for a child to do, is just see how it changes and the word still sounds the same. And I think that's what attributed to my kids being able to read so rapidly, is just being able to, the way I give it to them, see the change just right there, and they get it just like that. There's no, we have to spend a long time on the word wall or the word families. So here's what that looks like. And here we get mat. Okay, so we get a new story, 3 cats and a mat. So you're adding another sound. So you're learning A, S, T, M. And that's pretty much, I'm trying to think of the term, and I should know it because that's how I teach the kids reading and writing. Right now all I'm getting is fry, but there's a term for this. It's so early in the morning. Brain freeze. I'll get it in a few minutes, or I'll insert it in a caption or something. But A-S-T-I. Anywho. So there are your 3 words again, so they can see the change. You see the sentences begin to get longer, and so they're getting 2 words to read together. Okay, so it gives them a sense that they are independently reading, even though they're just reading those 2 words or 3 words per sentence, per page. But it becomes repetitive. Okay, and just them hearing you read the other words, they are going to pick up on these words. Okay, so we're on rat's hat, so you get another sound. Rat in the hat. So a lot is really meaty, and this is, like I said, this is just the book 1, and then you work on the and family. Okay, and there's a couple of notes down here to help guide the child along. And here. Alright, so another portion of this is, I'm trying to think. I did not, you can print this out with the instructions if you want, or you can print it out without the instructions. So mine does not, but I'm going to take you on the website and just kind of show you around. You also get the activities to go along with these things. Really simple, nothing overwhelming. And you see, you cut this in half. That's totally up to you. This is the alphabetic book 1. You don't have to cut them out. You can give them to the child like this, but it makes it a little less overwhelming to cut it, especially for a little one just learning to read. So I am using this, like I said, with the 4-year-old. She's pretty much got it. The 3-year-old, okay, also. So you get a writing page, you get a maze, and I'm going to get into the writing part of it in a minute. Now this is, let me get in there. This is part of book 1, the old series. I'm just going to show you the difference really quickly. It's not too much of a difference. It's just the way she was introducing the word families. So, like I said, you can still use these. It's not that big a deal. If your child is aggressive with reading and can do it, you may want to do both programs. Like I said, I recommend that you start with the first one. And so, there we go. Alright. Oh, goodness. Let me pull out over here some of the handwriting, the first part you need to see. Alright, the first thing, the handwriting is not recommended to start until age 5. It's 5 plus, and that's mainly because most children are not capable of, they have not grasped that fine motor grip properly to write. And I know a lot of people have, you know, early writers and things like that, and that's fine, but most children do not begin to get that grip down probably till about 6, and they're not able to, you know, form the proper strokes to even make legible letters and things. So it's personal preference. The earlier you start, based on your child's readiness, it may help, but don't start to, you know, don't give a 3-year-old a pencil and say, let's make a letter E. You know, the tracing part, that's fine. They can kind of, you know, guide, and the lines may not be straight, you know, but that's fine. That's all a part of learning, and even a 4-year-old. So you get a little assessment. It's really nice, and it shows you if they can do on the website. It'll show you if their strokes look different, then do not let them begin the handwriting. But if their strokes look similar to what's given, then that's fine. And so obviously you see, when my 4-year-old started this, she did awesome, and I made her do it a couple times just to see. But you get a couple, you know, when you print it out, just to see. So basic assessment, she's pretty strong with her grip. The only thing with her is she's a lefty, and I have only one other lefty. So it's really slow and steady with teaching her writing because I am right-handed. And my other lefty pretty much learned how to write on her own. So, yeah. But all in all, and this, she did this when she was 3, not 4. So she did pretty good. And that's, you know, pretty much how I work the kids. I don't stress them on anything. I never push the kids. I will introduce something and see if they can, you know, pick up on it. If they like it, then we'll go for it. If it becomes overwhelming, I back off. I don't force them to do anything. That's why we do a lot of, you know, this is curriculum, but we do a lot of unschooling. The majority is unschooling. It's, you know, whether they want to do it or not. We may do this once a week. That's fine with me. Also, here is the handwriting portion. This would be like this says lesson 8, practice page A. So it just starts. There are no letters. It just gives you the motions. And that's what's important in teaching the children. And you will find this in a lot of, you know, basic workbooks and things like that. So this is, you know, the exercise that is really good for strengthening that fine motor to get them prepared to write. Okay, these are the strokes. So you would have them do that. And again, this is not something overwhelming because you're breaking it down per day. This is not something they have to do all at one time. Okay, and here you get an N, and you go from N to can, M, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, this is a lesson 10, so pretty far up there. They're not just coming out the gate, sit down and write the word cat. Here's some of the pages. So, some of these are pretty simple. Like I said, I'm using with the 2-year-old or 3-year-old. She's 3 now. So that's why I still have some of the activity pages in this beginner book printed out. But let me take you over to the computer and share with you. I know we're getting kind of long, but like I said, I want to share because it is free and it does work. I searched and I couldn't find anything else comparable to this program. Alright, so here we are at ProgressivePhonics.com, and what you want to do is go to Phonics. You're going to get this drop down. You want to go to New. Okay, there's a quick start guide. You can read the instructions, but you want to go to New, and this is what you're going to pull up. Like it says, free. You can use this, tablets, all that kind of jazz. I'm trying to hold this camera right. Just pick up the first book and start reading with your child, your students, age 4 to 7. If a child struggles with letter recognition, use our alphabetic books to resolve this. Okay, so you get an overview. It's going to teach you what vowel concept is going to go over. And I want to say these books are something like between almost 100 pages and 60 something pages, and it tells you here, this one is 61 pages, and it tells you how long it's going to take to print it. Okay, so here you get, like I said, your quick start guide. Read the book with the child, help them sound out the words, don't rush it, have fun. And then here, this is the file to download it, And then you get your activity sheets that you can incorporate. Like if you're doing a Monday through Friday thing, don't work on activity sheets until day 2, day 3. Leave that for later. Get the reading part out. But here's your lesson plan. And really simple. Okay. Nothing strenuous and hard. 20 minutes a day. Is what I would say. So that's what that looks like. Not something that you have to spend a long time printing out in the way of lesson plans. And then you get your cards, your flashcards and things like that. And it's all broken down. So you print out what you need and you can leave the rest. And then here's the handwriting, 5.5 years plus. And there's, you know, like I said, there's nothing else attached to this. You don't have to go buy any workbooks or anything. Everything is right here in front of you. That is the beauty of it. You just print it out as you need it. And then your printing book, 27 pages. And then you get tests. And the reason you get a lot of the pages, you can work with more than one student. Okay. So here you can get the instructions with it for teaching the handwriting. And it teaches you step by step. Air writing. Here's your little handwriting test. Tells you about the pencil grip, which is really important if they're ready or not. If they're overhand gripping like that, they're not even ready to write. So don't give them anything to write with, even though they may want to. Let them just practice. But hand-eye coordination is important. So that would show you a not pass. Okay. Step by step. I recommend using a whiteboard. And yeah, it says demonstrate on a blackboard. Get a small one that can sit, you know, on the table next to the child. And so there's your T, and you're just basically starting with the straight lines down. Nothing overwhelming. I know when we have workbooks and the kids see row after row after row of copy, trace the letters. Now my kids do prefer the dots, but when they see a whole page of capital A, a couple of lines, you know, trace it, write it, lowercase a, they don't want to do that. So we honestly have a lot of workbooks that those things are not done because they don't want to do that. Once they learn how to write it, it only takes a couple of times. And that's why I like this versus, you know, basic workbooks, whether it's $1 or not. Sky area, middle area, underground. And I teach this too. We teach house, roof, middle, and basement of the house. And that's how I teach it. And it really does help to get their lines or their letters placed appropriately. And you're teaching the spacing. So and we're still working on spacing with the 6-year-olds, but that's something to come. So your bunny hops, and let me get out of here because there's 27 pages of that. But I'm trying to think if there's something else. Let me go back down here. Just trying to show you all. Okay, here's a go into when you have more than one student. And there are no instructions on here. So you can totally read the instructions on your own and not print them out. So here you go. You can do this. I recommend color in this, because they need to see the words in red and the words in orange. So do print it out in color, and I'm sure you can, you know, get this done at Office Max and bound if you want it, but this is something that really doesn't need to be bound. The actual reading books, you know, you may want to bound them if you don't want to put them in a binder or in a folder. Because like I said, I recommend just putting them in a plain folder. It cuts down on cost. So that's what that looks like. But great for use with multiple children. You know, if you have more than one and they're small coming up, you want to make sure that you can print this and you know, save it. So the less there is to, you know, put together, that's why I put them in folders. It's easier to store and they stay neat that way. So again, it gives you how many pages that you have to print out and all sorts of things. And just some little history and overview, the testimonials, just basic stuff you would find here. And you get the newest book, Capitals. Like I said, I suggest, I have always suggested this, and I've been trying to get around to doing this review for a long time, as well as some others that I need to get up, but time gets away from me. So hopefully this has been helpful. Leave me a comment. Leave me your thoughts. Leave me your concerns. If there's anything I didn't explain, let me know. I said I just wanted to be able to share this because it is available and I've not seen anyone talk about it. And it's a unique way. I know in a lot of books and readers, this saves you from buying a lot of different readers. You know, I've talked about buying different readers, and there are readers that are designed like this, read together, whether there is a bolded word that the child reads, but you can save a lot of money just doing this right here. And it's going to take you through all of the phonics, and you know, it's done progressively, and I've always taught the children progressively. It's the same concept as Hooked on Phonics. It just has a little more to it. Because in the beginning, Hooked on Phonics is just words, and some midway point in the book, they are learning to read sentences. So just another spin. I didn't deviate. I just wanted to incorporate something new. The twins enjoyed it. The 4-year-old enjoys it. The 3-year-old, like I said, I'm just introducing to her. Verify and leave your comments. So our books can be read on screen or printed. No experience necessary. Essential sight words, phonics rule breakers. So fairly simple. 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, and you're in business. You have a child that is pretty much reading right away. Alright guys, guys, I will see you in the next one.